Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. If you're confused about what you just clicked on, welcome to a signature TFA mobile companion app video. I am away on vacation right now, but I am almost back. Tomorrow I will be returning, so you'll see me normally at the setup and back in the saddle per usual. But we have a big promo coming today with Fut Fantasy, so I wanted to hop on here really fast and just kind of talk about what we have leaked and how I expect things to go. I haven't been following the market like, to a T. I've been taking a nice break for the past basically week now, but I'm starting to get back on and I'm seeing some things that look pretty interesting to me, especially with all of the leaks. There's a lot of hype for this promo, but I also think some of the cards are a little disappointing on some aspects. So we're going to take a look at leaks and the Fut Fantasy promo, especially with the Fut Fantasy heroes that might be dropping today. We'll talk all about that and how I think it's going to impact the market as we end the Showdown Series promo and welcome in the Fut Fantasy promo. So if you're excited for the video today, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Let's dive right into the leaks. And we're going to go to Twitter first. Foot Sheriff has been on a roll this week, guys. I mean, on Tuesday, I remember seeing this tweet. I think it was Tuesday for the first time. This is what really started a lot of the movement on the market. As you may know, a lot of prices are down. I think it really started with this, right? That heroes were going to be included. This is one thing that we have been hoping to see. We've had some hero upgrades this year, right? But we haven't had as many hero upgrades as we have different types of icons, right? The World Cup icons, World Cup heroes. Now we've also had Team of the Year icons. We want some upgraded heroes, and we're getting them. Now, this Yaya Toure is just a concept, but it kind of got everybody excited, right? We're getting some of these Fut Fantasy heroes that will get upgraded based off of a IRL team's performance, right? Like you've got Ginola is one of the leaked cards. He is going to get upgraded based off of Newcastle and how well they perform. We have guys like a Betty Pele for Olympic Marseille, right? He's going to get upgrades based off of how they perform. Kuhl for Leeds. I think I saved the picture here onto my phone of all the guys that are getting into this heroes side, right? Ginola, Betty Pele, Capdevia, Cordoba, Kuhl, Peter Crouch, Ricken, and Ledley King. And they're all going to get upgrades just like a regular Fut Fantasy player would based off of those performances in real life for those clubs. So that's cool, right? I think that's the biggest W as a part of this promo is that we are going to get updated heroes because we've needed this, especially for a lot of these guys like Cordoba. We still only have his base card. Same thing with Ginola and Ledley King as well. We needed some upgrades, and a Betty Pele, actually. We needed some upgrades for these heroes. So that's the biggest W, and that's what I wanted to start off with in today's video, is talking about that, because I think that's one of the most exciting things that Fut Fantasy is bringing to us. Now, I don't know if these are coming into packs today. I would assume that they would be, and maybe one or two of them would be saved for the mini release. This is a 2-week promo, so could they also spread these out over 2 weeks? That'd be an L, but yes, they could. I hope that we get most of them, if not all of them today, but, it could be spread out. We'll have to see. Now, speaking of other cards coming in packs today, we have got the regular Fut Fantasy cards, and this is where, man, if you think back to last year, we had some really big names. And Fut Fantasy last year, I mean, guys, I want to talk about this promo just in general for a little bit too. We know the upgrade path, right? We've seen the upgrade path. It's right here. You get a boost for campaign launch. 1 win, you get a +1. 3 appearances for that player, you get a +1. Attackers, midfielders, 2 goals or assists, or defenders, goalkeepers, 2 clean sheets, you get another +1. And then if you don't lose, you get +1 with 3 traits. So there's potential here for 4 upgrades plus 3 new traits. That's big time, right? That's a lot of upgrade potential with these cards. But the problem is, and this is the exact same thing that we ran into last year, the games don't start counting until March 17th. So basically, with the first team coming into packs today, 2 weeks from now, when the second team goes out of packs, that's when the fun starts, and that's when the progressing and the upgrades can actually be earned, right? That was the L with this promo last year, is that it was like, cool, these are live cards, but they don't upgrade for so long. And that's kind of the same aspect that we have this year as well. But I think since the lasting impression of the Fut Fantasy promo last year was a W, most people went into it and are going into it this year thinking that it's going to be the same way. But let me again just remind you that it's going to be 2 weeks from today until we start having the opportunity for upgrades. And with the way that these leaks look, I mean, man, comparing it to some of the guys we had last year, if you're talking from a meta, big name FIFA player perspective, it is kind of mid. But if you're talking about different cards that we don't get specials for all the time, it's kind of a W. So it's kind of mid, right? So let's take a look at these leaks, right? Alexis Sanchez coming into Fantasy Foot, stats expected. Now you look at these cards and you're like, man, Nate, these are pretty good, but just wait until we get potential upgrades. You're talking about an Alexis Sanchez card that if you give this a +4, you're talking like the same way we had last year. Team of the season level cards in the next, 3-4 weeks from now, potentially 6 games. It might be about 4 weeks from now until we get fully upgraded cards for Fut Fantasy. But you're talking an Alexis Sanchez, if he goes to a 94, you're talking like 94 pace, like 92, 91 shooting. Like, this is going to be a nuts card if they get all the upgrades, right? And that's the hype of this promo, is the upgrades. But the player names, I'm not saying these are like bad players or anything by those means, but it's not like super big name players. But I think that just gives us some really cool cards that are different, right? I'm a big fan of this Depay. Technically his second SBC of the year. He already had the Showdown SBC during the World Cup that did not get upgraded. I'm kind of rooting for Depay here to get some upgrades. That could be a nice card. 5-star skills, of course. This might be our SBC today. He was the first SBC leaked, so I'm kind of hoping that he would be the first one dropped in the game today. Marcus Llorente, I can't lie, guys. I am the most excited for this card in this promo team because, oh my goodness, would this guy be absolutely insane in game. These are stats expected as well. No way. 93 pace, that's basically like guaranteed stats. I mean, this guy, if Atletico Madrid can get some upgrades, this Llorente and Depay connection could be absolutely nuts. So keep your eyes out on that, but that's going to be a pretty nice card. Probably the most expensive one in the promo team. First special card of the year for Llorente. Now, the only thing I have to do and say with this as well is, these all say coming in Fantasy Foot. Like, if this is a 2-week promo, some of these guys may not be in packs until week 2. So just kind of keep an eye out for that at the moment. But I would assume that a lot of these guys are going to be in Team 1. I'm sure you'll see a few more leaks today heading into Friday, 6 p.m. content drop. Isak, this is one I'm excited for as well. Big, tall striker, of course. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember his live card from, was it last FIFA or 2 FIFAs ago, where he had the Europa League road to the knockouts or whatever it was. That was an insane card. But 94 pace, 88 shooting, 92 dribbling for Isak. Newcastle card. He will upgrade alongside of Ginola. Those two guys will kind of upgrade on the same pace, depending on how Newcastle can win games and, of course, keep progressing. Which I believe, by the way, going back to this graph, it's domestic games. So I'm guessing that means league games, and I'm sure we're going to get some more details on what EA mean by domestic games. But I'm pretty sure last year in Fut Fantasy, it only counted the league games. It didn't count cups. It didn't count Champions League. So I'm pretty sure it's just leagues for that. Dele Alli, I mean, this is where we saw the leaks. We were getting excited. This is where it kind of took a little bit of a downturn, right? Is Dele Alli, I don't even know if he's playing. I know there was some controversy around him at Besiktas. As a Tottenham fan, it's just kind of disappointing to see how things have gone downhill for this mad lad, because he was a really talented player. But that's not a terrible card. Probably going to be one of the cheaper ones today. Fabian, another PSG midfielder. If you did the Carlos Soler showdown, you're like, well, this is almost the exact same card with the potential to upgrade. But that's a pretty solid card. Nothing too amazing. PSG links, though. Saliba, stats expected. Arsenal, getting yourself a nice live card here. 84 pace, 90 defense, 89 physical, of course. You hope for some upgrades. You hope for that pace to get upwards of high 80s with a +4 on this card. You can imagine, right? 88 pace, 94, 95 defending, maybe 94 physical. That would be a pretty cracked center back card. Kind of reminds me of like the Stones last year that a lot of people invested in, myself included. So that's one thing I'm going to be interested in with these Fut Fantasy cards too, is how much they come out on the market as price-wise today, because this is 2 live promos in a row. We haven't even gone to Futbin yet in this video, but this is 2 live promos in a row, right? And a lot of the road to the finals have dropped off because of this. And I still have some of the road to the finals that I bought, right? And we'll talk more about market stuff and all that here in a little bit, but 2 live card promos in a row is very, very interesting, especially with the timing. And we're going to talk about this throughout this next week and the next 2 weeks. But this live card promo coming right before Fut birthday, I don't think it's as easy as last year that we can just look at these cards and say, oh, they're live, so we're going to invest and not think twice about it. With Fut birthday upcoming as well, we're going to have we use a little bit of extra caution, I think, as we head towards that promo. But just to head through the rest of the leagues here really fast, Amine Guri objective, I think that's going to drop today. If these are stats predicted, but I would assume that he may not have this good of stats for an objective, but that could be a really nice card. And if you guys remember that, I think it was a TOTS Amine Guri last year that we had, that was a really good objective card as well. Skriniar, I'm actually kind of stoked for this one. Kind of the same thing as Saliba, right? Like 90 defense, 90 physical, 84 pace. Hopefully get some upgrades to that card. Angelino, 90 pace. We just have the Miranda Road to the Final card, which is very similar to this, just different league. So not bad, but decent for him there. And Daye, pretty pacey super sub card there. Stats expected. And then again, this is where the leagues just kind of are like, okay, right? That's not a bad center back at all. Canadian fans are going to be loving that one. Another right wing with some pace from the Serie A, and then Trimmel from, what is that? That is the Bundesliga. Wow, I did not know what that was for a second. Bundesliga right back for Trimmel there. And then you've got Benrahma. That's cool, right? Premier League player there. You've got Fernando. But again, guys, you look through these leagues and you're like, man, it's just okay. Al Jaber is the only leaked hero as an SBC at the moment. Stats predicted. Of course, they choose kind of one of the lower level ones for an SBC for the heroes. So again, guys, with this promo, it looks cool, right? And we love it because there's live upgrading potential, but we're also a little bit unsure because the players, they just look okay, right? It just looks okay. So I would imagine very similar to the Road to the Final cards, there's not a lot of save the packs for Fantasy Foot, right? These guys are probably going to start off pretty expensive, just like the Road to the Final cards did day one, and they dropped off while they were in packs. I would imagine it's going to be around the same for the Fut Fantasy cards. And then, of course, let's talk about content today and how could the market move today. Of course, with these new hero cards coming into packs, you would imagine that the old ones would be going out of packs. So look at Ginola, right? We saw a big panic early week. Ginola was 1.37. He went all the way down to the 1.2s. Even yesterday, he was 1.279. But they're going back up. The market's actually rebounding a lot at the moment as we speak, because what I really think is happening is people are seeing that, okay, these leaks just kind of look mid, so they're going and buying back. I mean, even Team of the Years were panic sold on Tuesday. Messi from 7.1 all the way down to 6.7. He was 6'4" yesterday, right? I think yesterday on Thursday was like the peak time for some panic, and I actually think it was a really good time to pick up a few cards, maybe for the next week or two, if you really wanted them for your team. It just kind of brought a little bit of panic to the market on cards that maybe didn't even really needed to be panic sold, and we'll talk a little bit more about that with the finals here in a second. But with the new versions of heroes coming out today, so like Cordoba, Ginola, Kuel, right, Abedi, Pele, some of your more popular ones, keep an eye on this because like this base version of Cordoba could be out of packs, and he was 200 and what? He was 280K before the leaks came out about this. So keep an eye on those heroes today, just like Ginola is rebounding back. You know, maybe Cordoba could do the same thing if there's some Serie A hype. There is absolutely potential for that today. And I think a lot of people are looking at Road to the Finals as a potential investment, which is where I would be looking as well today on the market. If there's any more additional panic selling, please keep a close eye on this side of the market because we've got Champions League games coming this next week, right? Fofana is one, yesterday at 220, I think that's a really good price because that's kind of where people were buying him when they were in packs. And then you've got, the one thing with Fofana is you've got Saliba to worry about. But for these Road to the Final cards, I think a lot of people wound up buying some of them yesterday because they just got really, really low. Like Barella was 350 again, I think. 345. Like this, before content yesterday, when the leaks were popping and people were hearing about this promo that's coming today, there was some extra panic. And I think that was kind of the optimal time to buy. If there's any more panic today, I think there's a good opportunity that the market rebounds and goes back a little bit higher into tonight. And you'll see these Road to the Finals rise back up into their games coming this week. And you've already seen the bounce back, right? Calvin Phillips was 603. Now he's back up to 633. Atal, who I had kind of sold some of mine off, he was down to 248. Now he's back up to 270. People went back in after seeing some panic selling on these cards. It looks like people have gone back in and started to invest. I think that that's not a bad idea at all. I think that's actually a pretty smart play. If this Fut Fantasy promo does not live up to the hype and it's not absolutely insane, then I think you'll see the market do pretty well today. I mean, I think you'll see some cards start to rebound back and that sort of thing. Now, the other thing is I'm way behind on SBCs, guys. I can't lie. I have not done a single showdown. I need to do Weghorst just for the vibes, right? But, we've got the player pick that's going away, the 85 plus player pick. I have not done a thing, right? But the mid-icon player pick is going to expire today. And what's this one? The 89 plus is still out for, I think it refreshed like yesterday or something, but it expires in 2 days. So you still got an 89 plus World Cup or Prime Icon upgrade that's going to be available. So I do believe that if you have Fodder, let's talk Fodder for a second to close things off today. If you have high rated Fodder with that mid-icon player pick that's going away, I saw 91s. These guys are almost 80,000 coins. It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy to think that Messi is Fodder too, but look at these guys up to 80,000 coins, especially with the Weghorst and stuff. Man, if there's an opportunity to sell these today, I think I would maybe go ahead and do so with some of those SBCs that require a high rateds starting to drop off. Definitely the Weghorst and the Harvey Elliott today pushing up some of those prices for sure. But with the icon packs starting to go away, I would definitely look to take the cash on some of that stuff. I think Fodder would probably drop a little bit over the weekend. And then so for some of the cards that are going out of packs, right? Like the whatever it was called, the best of re-release, rivalry re-release, right? Pedri, Kane, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Benzema. Some of these guys I think could have some potential to rise. I haven't followed with every single one that's been re-released into packs. I know this Fred was re-released, thankfully not the one that I owned from last week, but like this Fred was re-released. He went from like 50k down to 30,000 coins. But guys like Trent, Kane, Pedri, that Winter Wild Cards, Benzema as well. I think there's opportunity to actually purchase these guys. Maybe if there's one last dip today, any little bit of panic that we would see before content, which I don't think there would be many, or maybe some people opening some packs from weekend league rewards. I would watch out for that, and I think that could be a potential place where you see the market rise later throughout this weekend. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the promo for today, man. I mean, there are a couple new pack codes that have been added as well. A Pivot Essentials pack and a Premium Pivot pack, which are just kind of like your standard packs in the store. Now, always EA could, they reserve the right. They do crazy content sometimes. They could just drop some whack pack in the store that is tradable that could, make things go crazy. But as of right now, I don't see anything super crazy happening, right? We got the Winter Rare Players pack. We've got the Provisions pack that's going away, the Elite pack, the Review pack, the Premium Review Winter pack, which was messed up and all that. But I think it'll be honestly, I think it's going to be kind of pretty quiet day today on Friday, and I think that's going to continue into the weekend with just a little bit of hype for the brand new Fut Fantasy cards. And that's why I think the market should do pretty well for a bounce back. Now, just to really quickly end this video off, just an account update. All I've been doing over this week of vacation is like clicking relist like twice or 3 times a day on my transfer list. I sold my Raspadores on Tuesday at like 315, which is kind of a good decision. I'm glad I did that. I sold some of my Atals for a good price, sold some of them too early, between 270 and 220. I got those out. So just lazy listing some informs as well, which went up a little bit in price, and I'm catching some more lazies because of the big time SBCs that are out. But I have 4.1 million coins. I've got 3 Barellas and an Alaba basically. So I'm pretty liquid besides those guys, but I'm really not. These are cards that I bought when the Road to the Finals were in packs, when I went broke and all that stuff, like last week before I left for vacation. I'm just going to hold on to this stuff, right? Because I bought this Alaba at 123. I'm really happy with his price. Barella hasn't moved that much, but with Skriniar, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold on to it. And I'm going to be coming back to the stream and to the YouTube videos with some motivation to trade again, man, because this is a great time of year to make coins. And we got to start building up that coin balance for team of the season and all that good stuff, and still have some fun with the coins. Like I said, I got to get Wild Weghorst done. I got to get some of this stuff done, and, have a good couple of days here on FIFA. And I'm excited for the game this weekend between Liverpool and United. Hopefully, I'm not really rooting for United, you know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of rooting for that upgrade on Weghorst just for the vibe. So I'm super excited to get back with y'all. I'm super excited to trade again. And just one last word on the market. I believe that this panic selling here is just due to the leaks. And I do believe that we may have seen the peak, right? Like, where's that team of the year Messi, or any of these team of the year guys will probably work. Benzema's 3.2 mil, right? He was 3.5. I think we saw the peak, like that end of February peak that we saw there on all these cards. I don't think that they really go that much higher with all the coin drain we've had with those 2 icon SBCs, repeatable multiple times, all the SBCs we had last week with the showdowns, and with Fut Fantasy upcoming. I think we saw the peak on a lot of these big time cards, some of your big time team of the year icons, and some of your other cards out of packs that have just kept going up, up, up. I think we saw the peak, and I think, yeah, we've had a little bit of a drop, but I feel like unless EA do something crazy today, the market should still stay pretty high. So we just saw crazy, stupid prices here for the past week as the content was very mid, and now we're going to kind of start to come back to earth with all these prices. So that's kind of what I'm feeling on this game. And for the Fut Fantasy promo today, good luck if you're opening any packs, and hopefully EA drop a little bit of hype today, all right? Let me know what you guys think of this content from EA with the Fut Fantasy promo down in the comments below. I'm super excited to get back at the setup with you guys for the video tomorrow. But if you enjoyed today's video, smash thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. It's been TheFutAccountant, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.